What should you do if your partner is texting a coworker? What about these emotional affairs? Well, today I'm going to cover the two things you totally should be doing, this little 2 steps to really turn your relationship around, and the 2 things that you absolutely positively must avoid if you want to make things better. So really important. I've been doing this with clients for over 30 years. The tools I'm going to give you today have been working for everybody over and over. I've got some proven stuff here. So let's get to it. I'm going to actually start with the things you should avoid because that's going to lead us into what to do. The number one thing you should be avoiding is complaining, threatening, crying, trying to explain everything, trying to justify, going on with the long story about the, why, and this isn't okay, and da-da-da. That's the thing. You can't do that. Don't do it. And especially don't threaten. I'll tell you, when you make a threat, like if you don't stop texting him, then, I'm ending this relationship. All that does is send things underground. So likely the problem will continue to happen, and likely you won't leave. And then you're really stuck because now you've used your big gun and you got nothing left. So I say a lot that you have to correct to connect. So, you have to connect to correct. I said that backwards. You have to connect to correct. And so you really got to get a connection first before you start, going into what anything kind of long-term or what could happen or anything like that. So don't go there. So that's number one. And the other thing is, you co-created this relationship. So all relationships are co-created, the two of you together. So you really need to look at your responsibility here and your part in all this. I am not blaming the victim. Do not start leaving nasty comments. That is not remotely what I'm saying. It is not your fault if your partner is texting someone else or, God forbid, cheating, really, physically cheating or anything else. It is not your fault. What I am saying is that you have responsibility. It's not about blame, it's about responsibility. So really what I want is for you to be less curious about these texts and more curious about how to connect with your partner. I have clients who are going through phone records and stalking and doing and checking emails and setting up fake accounts and doing, oh my gosh, all that energy and all that thinking in that way, first of all, is going to keep attracting really negative stuff to you. You're going to start seeing things where there is nothing because that's what happens in your brain. I do that on other videos. I will link to them down below this video. That's something called your RAS, something in your head called your RAS that makes you focus on the wrong things all the time and filter out what's really happening. But again, you can watch that later. But you don't want to be in that place. It's also all that time and energy spent is something your partner's picking up on. You're not putting time and energy into them. You're sitting with all your suspicions. This is not where your energy should be at all if you're looking to turn around your relationship. And really, it's part of the problem in your relationship. If this is where you're willing to spend time in all this negativity and all this stalking and all this, you need to be willing to spend time in the good stuff, in the happy, in the building, in the creation, in the collaboration, in the connection. And none of that is connecting. And you can't build a love relationship based on all that disconnecting and all that distrust. So those are the things to avoid. So what do? What you do is, number one, it's actually very simple what I'm going to give you, but it's not necessarily easy as most things. What you do is something called the I feel statement. It's been around a long time. I've been using it with clients for decades, and I use it myself in my life. It's very effective. And I'm actually going to link below the video that you can get a free download. How's that? I just thought of that. You'll have a free download. This is something I give to my clients actually. That explaining what I'm about to explain to you, which is basically to use this thing called the I feel statement. So what you do is you say, I feel, and you name a feeling, and it has to be a feeling. So mad, glad, angry, sad, betrayed, overwhelmed, worried, sad, furious, whatever the feeling is, you put that in there. You can't say, I feel that you should, or I feel that. There shouldn't be any that. It should just be I feel and your feeling. You can have more than one feeling. And then the second part is when you text your coworker, when you stop talking to me, when you stop a conversation with me to text your coworker, right? And I need, and then say what you need. And I need maybe I need to hear more about this relationship because it's really hard for me to understand. I need for you to stop all communication with this coworker once you're home, once, work has stopped and you're here. I need whatever you need. And I need, hopefully you just need to talk more about it, to understand what's happening, to have a better idea, because that's really what's going to help you build your relationship. What are they getting from this coworker that they're not getting from you? And you have to remember that, work life is kind of separate anyway, right? They have a whole work life, this whole thing going on. So it's an easy place for partners to divide. And of course, this person at work isn't, they're not looking at kids and having to get up in the middle of the night and do stuff and getting told to fix a light bulb or to take their dry cleaning in or make dinner or whatever. So there's a whole different world, and a lot of times people really like that, which is understandable, but how do you bring that into your relationship as opposed to having it have to be such a separate thing? So the first thing I want you to do is use the I feel statement only. And now they might say all kinds of things. They might even get defensive or blame you or anything else. You have to stick to the I feel. So even if they, well, I don't understand why you're going crazy about this. I have no relationship with this woman, with this man. You're being ridiculous and you need to trust me. And you just come back to it. I'm just telling you that I feel really sad when you stop a conversation with me and you start texting him, and I need for that not to happen anymore. And that's it. You just stick to it like a mantra, like this is your job and you're getting paid. You just stick to that, because eventually that will wind down, the defensiveness and stuff. Something has to come back to that. It's also really important with the I feel to be as specific as possible. Don't say when you text your coworker. That's too big, because then, your partner can say, well, I have to text them. We had a work project, how am I not? So you got to be more specific about what's bothering you about the text, because they text other people at work and it doesn't bother you, or they've had some texts with work, it doesn't matter. What is it about this? So get very specific. And then the next piece is you be the change you want to see. And I know it sounds corny, but it's the way you need to be. Be the change you want to see. What do you want your partner to act like or be like? Start acting and being that way. If you want them to be more loving, be more loving. More connecting, be more connecting. More compassionate, more fun, be more fun and compassionate. Do the thing that you see. I want to take a minute and say, if you want to learn more about what to do with other emotional affairs, if there's something different, definitely leave a comment. I'd love to hear any kind of comments you have about other kinds of emotional affairs and information you might want, or what your experience has been with an emotional affair. So let me know in the comments below. So, but getting back to us, you really want to create an environment in your relationship where there's happiness, there's love, there's connection, there's enthusiasm. That's the thing that will attract your partner back. Now, this doesn't mean that you sort of kiss their butt and act like a little slave. That's not, and just, oh, I'm sorry, and, try to in that grasping energy. That's not what we're looking for. I'm looking for you to just be loving, to be kind, to be compassionate from your heart, not from your fear of losing your partner. So don't get sucked into fear stuff. You have to stay in the love part of everything. And again, I have some great videos on this to really understand how to be in love, not fear. So I'll link to those below the video also. And last but not least, of course, is if these things aren't working, before you start threatening or doing anything else, I'd really like you to seek professional help. Those of us with degrees, I know internet, YouTube has everything, and here I am talking to you, but when people come in my office, they get a very different experience, right? And you need to find someone who is perfect for you, good fit, that you can come and help you work this out, because obviously this is a bigger problem than this one thing. So if the tools I'm giving you don't work for some reason, I really want you to seek professional help in your area. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and tell me, I'd love to hear the biggest struggle you're having in your relationship besides this. What's that big struggle that you're having that keeps coming up over and over? I'd love to to hear about it. Definitely hit the subscribe also, because I come out with new videos every single week. And why would you want to miss some time with me? Come on. So, and share this if you think it's going to help anybody that who this might help. I'm Dr. Abby Medcalf. I help people think differently so they can be so happy, joyous, and connected in all their relationships.